On this episode of Ghost Hunters International, the team returns to Scotland to investigate a world-renowned opera house.
Oh gosh, I'm seeing shadows. Whoa. Oh my gosh.
An encore performance gives Barry and Chris the experience of a lifetime.
Stop.
What?
You hear that?
Okay.
What the hell was that?
Then, GHI searches for the trapped spirits of a notorious Scottish prison.
We had men, women and children here. You came to prison at the age of 7.
Can the team free the tortured souls of Inverary Jail?
Said come out. Stop hiding.
I just felt something.
Something just touched you?
Yeah. Step forward, you will be freed. Oh my God, I just heard
That was a freaking voice.
Wow. I hear it. Get out.
Edinburgh in Scotland. We'll need to be very, very careful, of course, driving in these roads, Joe. There's a wicked bad blizzard coming. But Susan's going to give us the download on what we're likely to expect at Usher Hall.
Before getting into the claims of Usher Hall, I'd like to talk a little bit about the history of the place. Now, 30 years before Usher Hall was even established, there used to be a boarding school called Lothian Road Boarding School that was located on the same site where Usher Hall is actually located today. Our client Carl is the general manager of Usher Hall, and he called us in to investigate these claims coming from his staff as well as the performers there. A really impressive claim comes from the world-renowned opera singer Dame Kiri Tekanawa of New Zealand. It's actually interrupted her performances. She felt as if somebody was walking right behind her, so close it felt like they were almost walking through her.
Okay, folks, Usher Hall is just directly in front of us. It looks absolutely huge.
That's beautiful. It is beautiful.
Carl, how are you?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Thank you.
I'm very glad GHI are out here in Edinburgh and the Usher Hall because we've had a lot of reports from staff members about paranormal and strange activities happening around the venue. From one level, I'd just like to know what's happening. Is there any truth behind it? And on a practical operational level, managing the venue, I've got members of staff who won't work a night shift, and I've got one security person who won't even come back in the building. So yeah, it'd be nice to know.
Well, of course, we've heard some of the stories about Usher Hall in regards to paranormal activity. We would love to learn some more about those stories and, of course, maybe see where these occurrences are happening.
Great. Well, the first place I'm going to take you to are these double doors just here on the stalls level where one of my waitresses thought she saw a gentleman.
It was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and through 2 sets of double doors, I could see a man standing just sideways on, clear as anything, a man in a black suit. And I walked through the first set of double doors, and I could still see him. He was still standing. I thought he was just waiting to go into the show. I pushed the door open, I turned to speak to him, and he was gone. There was no one there.
Well, here we are backstage. Corridor stages, right in front of us there through the thick walls. One of my staff team brought their dog in once, and the dog got really spooked coming in here. And I think it was wandering along this corridor, would just, how dogs are like, where they kind of press themselves up against the wall, and do strange behaviour in the dog to get through to backstage there.
So who normally has access to this backstage corridor?
Artists, technical crew, and this is one of the points where we've had some other stories, and it was from a cleaner.
We were cleaning backstairs about 2 o'clock in the morning. Says he goes girl walking down the corridor. There were 4 of us working together and seen it. We just jumped up and ran off. We've never done another night shift. Never have.
Quite a place.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It is.
Where we're standing now is where the world's greatest performers have stood. We had a concert here with Kiri Tekanawa. I was in the audience at the time. I was sat up in the grand circle. She sort of brushed herself like she'd felt something. It stuck in your mind. Yes. But at the end of the song, she said, "I'm sorry, I really sort of felt something like it's like the footsteps or someone walked behind me. The hairs on the back of your neck go up, and it's definitely spooky."
Now, what else has happened here?
One of the technical crew thought they saw a little girl sat up on her own in the upper circle.
Exactly where in the God's seats was this girl seen?
I think it's top left.
Great. We'll get started, we'll get unpacked and get ready to go, and we shall see you in a couple of days, hopefully with some results.
I look forward to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. There are a lot of big questions here going into the investigation, and I really want to concentrate as well on this story that was given to us by Carl, that was witnessed by a full audience, of course, of Dame Kira on stage singing and feeling this apparition pass by her. We want to really explore that and see what was happening there. Okay, so how's the setup going?
Fantastic. What we have here is the stage where this performer actually felt something pass her, and what we then have is the stairwell where this little girl was seen, and then the auditorium where she was actually seen by this technician.
Okay.
Then what we have is the entrance area right by the bust of Usher.
Good, good. So let's get to it, get those lights out and get investigating.
Okay.
Okay? So this is the stage where Dame Kira was singing and felt the presence pass by. Now, she also said that she felt footsteps.
Yeah.
So can you imagine standing here singing to a full auditorium if were you to stop?
What did she have for music behind her?
She had a grand piano.
And that was it?
Yeah.
Are you hearing that? Is that out in the hall or was it in?
It sounded as if it was in here. Oh, well. I'll get the vibration sensors. We'll set them up on stage.
Okay.
What the hell was that?
Are you hearing that?
Chris and I came to investigate the main auditorium of Usher Hall. Now, going into this, Chris and I heard unusual sounds.
Is that out in the hall or was it in here?
It sounded as if it was in here.
Okay.
What the hell was that?
I have no idea. It sounded like it was over there, right? I think.
Hello? Is there anyone here?
Oh, that speaker.
Yeah, it's coming from that speaker system. For some reason, it's giving out that noise. Okay, at least we know where it's coming from now.
And music.
Tablet you have ready and everything, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
2 seconds. While we're in here, one of the things we wanted to try was the Singapore theory. All right, ready?
Yeah.
And the idea was to try to stimulate the area with sounds that might be familiar to it, to play music that might be played here at some point or another.
You hear that? Stop.
What?
There's something not right in here.
I thought I was hearing footsteps.
I was hearing those. It sounded like footsteps as well.
Yeah, but it sounded like it was coming from behind you.
I thought it was coming from behind you. Is there someone here who would like to hear some more music? Let's roll it again.
Okay. All righty. Ready?
Yeah. What?
What?
I thought I heard something unusual there.
What did it sound like?
Those footsteps, I can still hear those footsteps.
Where are they coming from?
They sound as if they're coming from behind you, though.
I'm not hearing them behind me.
They're very deep and bassy.
We have the recorder going.
Yeah, we have. The Singapore theory seemed, in principle, to be paying off. Let's go. There's something unusual, I have to say, with this particular theatre. We do have multiple pieces of equipment running, so I think it's going to fall back onto analysis to see if we were able to isolate those sounds down.
Just go first. Thank you. Scott and I are investigating the backstage corridor where they brought a dog into the building. That he would cower to one side of the wall, hugging it and crawl along the wall. Don't see anything.
Hang on a minute. It's gonna be high, too. Oh, bingo.
Wow. Let's do an EMF sweep.
Yeah, sure.
See if there's any odd EMFs.
We did come across one little area that actually had some unshielded utility boxes.
7.7.
They were giving off a high EMF reading, constant.
18.1, 34, 49.
Yeah, I think that could do it.
Yeah. When they brought the dog in, he hugged the wall where we found the high EMF fields. Either he's reacting to the high EMF fields or he's reacted to something paranormal.
Are you the little girl that has been reported here?
Do you like dogs? Do you like pets? Is that why you're trying to communicate with the animals that come here? I'm gonna put that right there for you. Please come forward.
We can play hide and seek?
Hide and seek, ring around the rosy. Please come sit with us and come talk to us.
What's that? Right by the door.
Wait, hear something?
I see a shadow.
You see anything?
No, nothing.
Was that you trying to communicate with us? Are you trying to play with us? Could you do that again, please?
If you're here, come on and play some more.
This just spiked. It spiked to 2.2, not almost like we're chasing something. It shows up, it disappears, we move, it shows up.
Is that what you're doing? You're playing tag? You're running up to us and then running away, see if we could find you? Are you coming to show us how to play?
0.3, 0.4, 0.5.
During our EVP session, the EMF was spiking a little. Getting a little bit of a chill. I don't know if I'm sweating and it's cooling off.
I feel it too. Like back of my neck. Yep, exactly.
At the same time, we were getting kind of chills, and usually that's an indication that either a spirit may be trying to manifest itself or try to communicate in some way. Okay, we're gonna be going. Is that all right? We'll have to check our footage to see during analysis if something was actually recorded.
Okay, thank you, sweetie.
Okay, we'll see you later.
Paul and I went to investigate the theater where there have been claims of performers hearing footsteps on the stage while they're performing.
Okay, that's where the apparition's actually been seen.
Okay.
Side door.
There are also claims of this young girl apparition. So I decided to go up to that tier and see if possibly try and make contact with her. All right.
Now, we were using a number of tools here in the concert hall, from the full spectrum handycam, night vision handycam, audio recorders, digital photography, the laser burst device. Let's concentrate there. We were actually able to literally cover this place.
Hello, can you hear me? My name is Susan. I'm here with a friend of mine. His name is Paul. Maybe you could help me find my dolly. Holy crap, I'm seeing shadows. I'm seeing shadows up here, I'm not kidding.
Totally just saw something right in front of me. Like I'm looking straight forward.
Oh my gosh. Holy crap, I'm seeing shadows. I'm seeing shadows up here, I'm not kidding.
Totally just saw something right in front of me. Like I'm looking straight forward.
Oh my gosh.
What? What was it?
I swear to God, there was a shadow that walked right towards me. I saw it in the back rows of this tier that I'm on.
I'm seeing more things over there. Directly opposite you, I'm hearing stuff over that side.
Are you the little girl? Are you the little girl from the bathroom? I need you to come out from behind me, and I need you to show yourself in front of me. I'm getting chills right now.
Just as you said that, so have I. I just actually got a cold chill straight through me.
The temperature's dropping, and the EMF is going up.
Did you just moan?
No.
It's the third time I've heard it.
Oh gosh, I'm seeing shadows. Whoa. Okay.
I'm getting goosebumps right now.
Oh. Oh. I could have sworn I saw somebody sitting in a chair at the very last tier.
I'm going up there. I actually started to feel that, you know what, this may not be a little girl that we're dealing with. And it actually felt a lot heavier. No, I ain't psychic in any way, but even I felt that something wasn't right there. Something's affecting the laser beam.
I feel sick. Where are you, man? You hear that?
That was the door. That was definitely the door. Someone on the other side of that door. There's no one out here.
Dude.
What?
Something just walked right behind me. I could feel the vibration on the floor. Are you with me now? This has quickly turned from something other than a game.
Someone's playing silly buggers and it ain't funny.
Who are you then?
I do think that there's something going on here, but definitely there's something creepy about this particular location. Let's head back down, okay? And certainly when it comes to analysis, I'm desperately hoping that that comes out.
This is the staircase that the child is said to have appeared on.
And the woman is over here somewhere, wasn't she?
She was standing there, yeah.
She took off.
Mm-hmm. Let me just check here.
And they think it's the same little girl in the theater.
They believe so. I'm not seeing anything unusual on the thermal.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything.
But let's hold an EVP session. Chris and I want to try and reach the spirit of a child that is said to appear here on the staircase.
Who's the little girl here? Are you the same little girl that people have been seeing in the theater?
Do you enjoy theater? Do you enjoy the huge crowds?
Did you come here a lot with your family? If you're here and you're listening, please don't be afraid to come out.
Ending EVP session.
Okay, guys, we have had a good night's investigation.
Let's get everything wrapped up and get ready to go. We have given it a good coverage. I'm very, very confident that we will be able to bring some answers to Carl. But, of course, now we're getting packed up, getting ready to leave, and get some rest before the big analysis.
So, guys, Usher Hall, a very interesting place, beautiful. And obviously, you know, what we're going to be looking for, you know, this little girl that's been seen going down the stairs as well as being seen in the auditorium. Pay attention to the audio, listen out for things like that. Let's see what we can find.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right?
Hey, guys. I'm going through the audio, and it's Barry and Chris, and then the auditorium. I hear a voice. I want to get your opinion on it.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
The gift is just off to our right.
Yep.
Definitely.
That's cool.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, I hear that, clear as day.
Yeah.
Good catch. Let's see what else we can find.
Cool. Okay.
Guys, we're doing our EVP questions and we're talking about, you know, the possibility of somebody remaining after their death. Well, I think we got something really interesting that you have to check out. It's definitely a voice.
Cool.
Wow, that's crazy.
Carla, it is good to see you again.
Angie,
Nice to see you again.
so you've had an interesting weekend.
We have.
We're anxious to hear what you've got, so...
There were some things that were happening that just stayed outside the range of our equipment. Paul and Susan, for instance, were working in here on stage and, of course, on the second balcony as well. And they're seeing these unusual shadows moving around.
It seemed like the shadows Paul, Susan, Barry, and myself experienced. They were odd.
Now, Susan was also on the second tier. When she heard these unusual footsteps coming towards her, she also felt the floor vibrate as well. Almost something similar to what you were describing Dame Carey experiencing here on the stage.
The next piece we want to show you.
Chris and I were investigating down toward the bust of Mr. Usher. And you had told us about these double doors. During the investigation, I moved toward those doors and was startled to see someone on the other side of the doors. What we photographed was this.
Is that one of you?
Yes.
Thank God for that.
So what I was seeing was actually the image of Chris behind me. The panels that are reflecting at the eye line, of course, backward, are these two. It will only happen for us in these two panes as you move close to the door to open it.
That's perfect for them.
Barry and I were investigating here in the theater, and we had actually made our way up to the second level. And we're sitting there doing some EVP work, and we got what sounds like a voice.
The gift is just off to our right. It's a small doll.
Now, were you able to hear something?
Yeah. It sounded like when you said there's a gift, it was somewhere. I was sort of taking a sharp intake of breath.
This recording was taken just off from the bust of Mr. Usher at the front of the hall. Paul and Susan were set some way back from the device itself. You will hear their muffled voice as they're having a conversation about, is it possible that maybe the people who had passed away in the auditorium maybe have stayed here? Someone seems to agree with them.
Yes. Goes right through you, right?
It does, yeah. So it's just a very clear voice saying yes. At least it's a positive message.
How do you feel about some of the things you've heard?
It's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. So in your professional opinions, do you think we're haunted?
You do have some paranormal activity here.
There's definitely something beyond it, you know.
It was a great opportunity for us, of course, to visit Scotland here in Edinburgh and come here and investigate this wonderful hall.
Fantastic.
But it has been a great pleasure.
Been a pleasure having you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
The information GHI's gathered is really useful for me because it gives me something I can go back to the team here about and explain some of the activity and why they've seen the things they've seen. And it's evidence-based, which is good. And, some things are explainable, others obviously less so. And that someone's still here interested in music, and that's what we're here for. So, if there's a paranormal sort of spiritual activity happening and they're still here to listen to music, then that's great.
Well, I was very, very happy with that case and very, very happy with the outcome.
I was too. I think we're able to give Carl a lot of answers, honestly.
There was an investigation that the entire team done exceptionally well at. And the hall itself, of course, still has that little bit of mystery to it. Well, let's get back, get the team, because I'm looking forward to our next case. So, we're going to be visiting Inverary Jail, and Susie's going to give us a download of what we're likely to expect.
Now, guys, we're going to investigate the infamous Inverary Jail of Scotland. Now, this place has been in use since the 1820s to 1970, and a lot of people that were convicted of crimes were actually tortured. Before you were actually executed, your hands were cut off.
It's messed up.
Horrendous.
Wow. A lot of the guests there, as well as the people that work there, have been experiencing some strange going on, such as whispers in their ears, the feeling that somebody is sitting right next to them, seeing shadow people. So you can imagine why our client, Hannah, is so worried about what's going on here.
Okay, folks, we're just approaching Inverary Jail just in front of us.
Wow, look at that.
Oh.
That's quite different.
Hello.
Hannah, how are you?
Welcome
Pleased
to
meet you.
Inverary Jail.
Thank you.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Craig.
Cool.
So it's lovely to have you here at Inverary Jail. I see you've come appropriately dressed with your tartan.
Indeed.
Are you Scottish, sir?
I am, yes.
Oh, lovely. Well, that's very nice. And you've got your tartan scarf on as well.
So, Hannah, what can you tell me about this amazing prison?
Well, we were built in the year 1820. When we first opened, you had the courthouse and the old prison. We had men, women and children here. In the early days, those children who were maybe the age of 7 were in with people that had murdered as well.
Wow. It's quite amazing, really. But we're told about some of the unusual paranormal phenomenon happening here. Shall we take a look?
Lovely.
Great.
Thank you. We'd like to take you to the old prison. That's where we've had quite a lot of activity going on. A lot of our visitors that come here always want to know, is it haunted? Some visitors can't get out quick enough. They just refuse to go in certain parts, saying, oh, no, there's something in there. I'm not going in there. So this is cell 4. This is where Samantha's had a lot of experiences.
Okay.
Sometimes when you're sitting in the cell in the old prison, you'll be talking with somebody and you'll see a shadow past the door. You could come in and you'll have hair standing on the back of your neck, or you'll just feel like somebody's with you all the time.
So this is cell 7. This is where Rob heard a woman's voice call him.
I was in here one morning. I just stepped into the cell and I heard my name called. Rob. It was a female voice. I actually stepped out of the cell. There was no one to be seen.
So this is now the first floor of the new prison.
Okay.
So this is the landing where we've had children coming into the prison for visiting, chatting away to somebody. And when the people have gone into the cell to say, who are you talking to, the child will either say, oh, the funny man or the man in the corner, but there's nobody in the cell with them. So this is the courtroom. Again, it dates 1820. Everything in the courtroom is original. A lot of people hear footsteps in the courtroom. You can see the sound, it's quite echoey in here. And we've had a lot of voices, a lot of names, a lot of sort of noises that can't be explained. So this is the end of your tour of Inverary Jail. Hopefully you can go and investigate and let us know what you find.
Great. Well, we're going to get set up, so we'll see you in a few days.
We'll look forward to it. Thank you.
My family actually comes from Scotland. I've been to Scotland a few times, but not here. The jail is actually listed with the Historic Society. Therefore, none of the buildings can actually be modified. So what's really nice is you're walking through a jail exactly as it was, 50, 60, 100 years ago.
Okay, folks, how do we look for setup?
In this camera, what we actually are looking at is the first floor of the old prison, where there's reports of this girl running back and forward. And then what we have in the next camera is the second level of the old prison. And the next camera is the first floor of the new prison cells. And in this particular camera, I have the second level of the new prison cells. And lastly, what we have is the courtroom. When people are sitting in there, they are in fact hearing somebody walking above them.
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Let's get our stuff and get those lights out and get investigating. So this is the old prison. What we've got on this whole floor of the prison, the first floor, is a lot of shadows moving around. Also in this stretch of corridor, we've got a voice that was calling out to the prison guard, Rob, back and forward between... Oh.
Did you hear that?
I thought I heard something there. Did you hear something?
I heard something, yeah.
It sounded like a little shuffle of something.
Yeah. It sounds like it's upstairs. We went upstairs to check it out. There was nobody up there. None of the doors were opened, so we weren't really sure what we were hearing.
Let's do some EVP work. My name is Barry and I'm from Ireland.
My name is Chris. I want to meet this dark shadow that people keep talking about. Can you tell us who would stay in the cell?
Step forward, you will be freed. Let us hear your name. Call out your name. Oh my God, I just heard that.
That was a freaking voice.
I've heard screaming, doors banging. Television's #1 paranormal reality series is back with all new investigations.
What is that?
Ghost Hunters premieres Wednesday, February 23rd at 9, only on Sci-Fi.
We want to know who here has been scaring the people that work here.
Chris and I were investigating in the old prison where this apparition was said that to pass from cell to cell. Step forward, you will be freed. Let us hear your name. Call out your name. Oh my God, I just heard that.
That was a freaking voice. We heard what sounded like a voice. It sounded like it was coming from the far end of the hall. To me, it sounded like it was a male.
The prisoner that called out his name stepped from the cell, come forward to our voices. We did make you a promise, however, that if you give us your name, we would allow you to go. We want to keep that promise. Okay, Chris, let's move on.
Sounds good.
To both Chris and I's surprise, we heard a name. We did have the 360 running to see what that name possibly is, to give us an idea of who possibly could be haunting this prison.
Careful. Scott and I were to follow up the claims of Barry and Chris that they were hearing movement. So we decided to do our first EVP session down in the jail cell. If anybody's in here, we need you to come out and tell us your name. I'm not asking, I'm demanding you tell us your name.
Please come out.
I said come out. Stop hiding. While we're in the jail cell conducting our EVP session, I wanted to provoke, and usually I don't provoke, but in a case like this, in a prison, I wanted to see how far I could push it. Anybody else in here want to come out? If not, we're gonna burn the place down. This place is gonna be demolished, and you won't have a home anymore.
You hearing that? I heard that twice.
Upstairs.
2 times.
Yes. I think we hear you. I'm coming up. We were getting little bits of snippets of sound and voices, so we decided to go up the stairs and see if we could get something else to come out. Whoa. I thought I felt something touch my hand.
Are you playing with my friend Joe?
Do we have to set fire to each and individual cell? Smoke you out? I don't care. I don't have to live here.
Joe, I just felt something.
What?
I just felt something.
Something just touched you?
Yeah, like not a sigh, but it felt like something was blowing in my ear. Like right when we were walking away, right when you were talking.
Right when we were talking?
Right, probably like something like right around here. When we turned around, we were walking away.
Yeah.
I mean, I got, when you touched me, but I have goosebumps.
Wow.
From that.
You only respond to violence? Let's go. Just as I figured. You're a coward. During analysis, I want to pay close attention to go over the audio and the video to see if anything was caught.
So what happens in the courtroom again?
So we have footsteps, which they said they sounded like they're coming from above them. I'm thinking like one of us should sit in here and one of us should wander around.
I'll take a walk along the bottom floor. I'll do it several times.
Okay. One of the things we decided to do was to split up. Barry walking on the floor below the courtroom to see if maybe the sound is traveling up into the courtroom in some strange way. Barry, I hear you. It's weird. It's weird. It sounds like you could be above me. You can almost hear it in the walls.
Okay, I'm on my way back up.
Okay. You could hear the footsteps in the walls. Honestly, I would have mistaken it for somebody on the floor above me.
EVP session. It's Paul and Susan. We're in the first floor of the new prison cells. Susan and I headed to the first level of the new prison where there's the children's voices and the shadows. This particular cell is of interest because parents have heard their kids talking, but when they go in there, there's no one there. The parents, they'll ask, who are you talking to? And there's several reports come back, but a lot of them, something like the tall man. See if we can get any sort of evidence of this tall man. My name is Paul.
I'm Susan. Are you the tall man that children have been speaking with? Were you a prisoner here? Maybe you can knock once for yes and twice for no.
Can you tell me? I just heard a female voice.
Were you a prisoner here? Paul and I decided to investigate the first floor of the new prison cells.
Can you tell me? I just heard a female voice. Can you do that again? Can you tell me your name? Now, I was asking some EVP questions, and I did hear the sound of a girl. We were getting what seems like a response. It led us to believe that there may, in fact, be the spirit of a little girl here. If we were talking to a little girl just now, then who's this tall man? So why would there be a tall man in here? You heard that?
Yeah.
Whilst we were asking some questions, we did suddenly hear this very deep bass knock. And both Susan and I heard it at the same time. Suze, come here. Put your hand around here. Tell me if that's not colder. You're wearing gloves.
Oh, I feel it.
Right around here, it's just really cold.
What was really interesting is when I followed that cold spot in, that spot actually moved forward.
Is that you?
Is that what we heard?
That is what we heard.
Whenever I stepped on that tile, I heard the thump and then the cold spot was gone. That must have meant that there was something standing right here.
Yeah.
There's nobody in here. I felt like, in a way, whatever was there was kind of guiding me to find where that sound came from.
folks, sun's coming up, so let's get everything wrapped up and get ready to leave. Okay, Chris?
We just finished our investigation at Inverary Jail. The one thing that really caught our attention was the old jail. There were a couple of things that happened in there that we couldn't explain, and I think the biggest one was hearing what may have been a male voice. There is a ton for the guys to go over in analysis, and I'm really interested in seeing what might come out of it.
So we're just about to go into analysis for the Inverary Jail. There's a lot of stuff that we're experiencing with the amount of equipment we were actually running. Fingers crossed we actually managed to capture something. Hey guys. Now, look at the end of this hallway, top level of the old cells. If you watch there, what appears to be something moving at the end of the hallway is a car passing outside. The light is reflecting through the window and causing this shadow effect. So it's actually nothing even in the building at all.
Well, that's interesting. That might explain why people are actually seeing shadows.
I agree, Susan. Definitely nothing paranormal. Let's see what else we can find.
Whoa, hey guys. I've got some audio that I think is pretty crazy. Scott and myself, and we're in the old prison. I can hear something.
Wow.
I hear it get out.
Hi, Hannah.
Hi there.
It's good to see you again.
Good to have you back.
Chris and I, when we were conducting our investigation here in the courtroom, we're throwing different ideas back and forward to try and understand what possibly could be causing these footsteps that you had reported. So now we want to take the opportunity, while we're here, to let you listen to what it was that was actually causing those footsteps. Okay?
Okay. Now, we've been at several cases where people have heard footsteps, and right now we're in a building that's made to carry sound.
I'm hearing above me on my right-hand side. Where is he?
He's right below us.
He's below. That would tie in a lot with people then hearing above you, but it does, it's echoing up in the roof.
That's quite a hike.
Well, I heard you.
Well, that was my next question. Were you able to hear it?
Yes. You would think the carpet would just absorb the sound down rather than up.
I wanted to show you a sample from our DVR system. What you see is the window at the end, which faces toward the lock.
Yeah.
This particular camera was picking up that unusual shadow play. This was the lights from the cars on the other side of the lock just shining in. This shadow play, of course, isn't enough to what was being reported to you as, you know, these huge shadows passing by people. That is not it.
That could maybe account for when you get that, you just out the corner of your eye, you think you've just seen something go. You know, that's maybe enough to just
it's
get
quite
that
possible.
quick.
Yeah, yeah.
So while Joe and Scott were investigating in the old prison, they caught what we believe to be an EVP on our audio. So we're going to have you listen to that and see what you think.
Okay.
Were you able to hear that?
There's a wee whisper after the first voice.
Yeah, and it's like right in here.
Yeah.
Now, what does it sound like to you?
I'm not making an exact voice out of it. I'm not hearing words, but there is a voice there.
To us, it sounded like a real quick get out.
Yes, I mean, there's definitely a response there.
Staying in the old prison, Chris and I were running our EVP session, and we asked for whatever was there to step out of the cell and give us your name. To our amazement, there was a response. And of course, we want you to have a listen to this and see what you think.
Great.
Let us hear your name. Call out your name.
Did you hear that?
Oh my God, I just heard
that was a freaking voice.
I'm thinking it sounds like Rodney.
Of course, now our question is, who's Rodney?
I have no idea. There's been voice activity, so there's obviously maybe something that we don't know about.
We feel that there was a suggestion of paranormal activity, but not enough that we would call haunted.
No.
But we feel that there's nothing that is going to harm anyone, of course.
That's good.
Well, we have to say that we really have to thank you for inviting us to this part of the world.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Take care.
Thank you. Really glad that GHI have come out to investigate. What I would tell our visitors when they come here is that if they hear things when they're here, great. If they don't, well, don't be disappointed.
That reveal went very well. Hannah seemed to be very impressed about the way that we investigated and was able to give her some results.
I think we did really well with the debunking.
I think so. Well, let's get back to the tape.